Welcome everybody to my Let's Play of a ROM hack I made and released about a year ago called Pokemon WoofGold and Master Silver. So people who know me know I'm kind of into game design and I was going to go into game design as a career. I still want to do that, although the last year's kind of been rough, so I haven't really focused on game design much. But I did manage to release this ROM hack as kind of like a practice at game design. And I've been really happy with the reviews so far. I wasn't going to make a Let's Play on this, but Seal99 Plays, whose channel will be in the description, has been doing a Soul Link and Nuzlocke of my ROM hack with their friend Strange. And it kind of wanted me to kind of get back into video creation a bit. Well, I've wanted to get back into video creation for now, but I think doing a less Nuzlocke, more casual version of my ROM hack alongside them will be a good way for me to kind of get back into recording, audio balancing, editing, and all of that. I'm not going to go super crazy on the editing. There's some unfinished videos I had that's like, oh, I hate editing, so that's kind of why they never got released. But I need to get back into the swing of things, so... And I think this would be a fun little companion piece alongside their series, which again will be linked in the description. I am actually going to speed through a lot of this, because outside the fact that I've playtested the entire game like 50 times over the past 2 years, there's also just the fact that I tried to record this last night and I completely forgot to actually press record. So I already went through this yesterday. So I'm picking a girl character for 2 reasons, but one of which right now is the fact that I didn't notice until I actually started ROM hacking this game, and I was playing as a girl character when this happened due to the other reason we'll get to later. If you don't enter a name and you just press OK, you get a random name, and I thought that was cool. Okay, sweet, we got a better random name than last night. I commented last night how, like, a lot of these names are either, like, names that don't work as names like Heart or Soul. Or it's like kind of like old lady names like Trudy or like Heidi, which is kind of like an older German name. It's like I would have rather had Heidi than Trudy, and Trudy is what we got last night. I don't want to speed through this game, but until we get out of this town, I would really like to. I just did this last night. There might be some visual bugs because I made this ROM hack on Dezume, but I'm recording on Melon DS because I was having troubles getting Dezume to register in OBS. I've still had some problems with Melon DS, but as long as I open Melon DS before OBS, it's working fine. Oh, that was a weird little cut there. That didn't happen yesterday. So, don't get too attached to our starter, because I kind of want to show off more of, like, the more heavily changed Pokemon. And Totodile, where is it? Totodile didn't really get changed at all. They benefit... Excuse me there. They kind of benefit from one of the HM buffs. But Totodile was pretty much fine normally. Then we got Cyndaquil, who has 3 new moves. One of which is kind of just flavor, like it could learn this move via TM and Crystal, so I gave it via level up. Another is a late game TM that's kind of nice for coverage, and another is like a hard scale move that's like kind of interesting. But overall, Cyndaquil isn't that too changed. It's like Chikorita, it's actually pretty heavily buffed. It has, like, early Leech Seed, and a lot of it, like, it gets Leech Seed via level up. A lot of its support moves it learns earlier on. I forget what it has via Heart Scale, but it has something via Heart Scale. Like, overall, just the idea of it having its support moves and Leech Seed earlier helps it a lot. I actually think it's the best starter for Falkner. In, like, a Nuzlocke setting, at least. Despite it being weak. Because it can just kind of, like, invalidate the Roost on Pidgeotto. But we're not going to be doing that. I might get some footage of that later. For now, we're going Cyndaquil, because I would replace all of these starters eventually, but Cyndaquil was the one that would get replaced last on the team I built. I'm gonna try to use more than just the permanent team members I built, because I want to use quite a few Pokemon in general, just to show off various things. But ultimately, I'm feeling pretty good about this ROM hack. I'll be honest, I know it's a bit biased since I'm the one who made it, but I would not have released it if I didn't think this was an incredible ROM hack. And I've been quite happy with the response. People seem to like it quite a lot as far as Vanilla Plus hacks go. Like, it's one of those hacks that feels very similar to the original, but better in a lot of ways you can't quite put your hand on. Okay, Modest Nature, that's incredible, and way better than yesterday. Yesterday I got a Jolly Cyndaquil with bad special attack IVs. This is almost a competitive Cyndaquil. I think you can get up to like 13 special attack and 12 speed with a Modest Nature. I'm not 100% sure on that. You can at least reach 12 in both. But yeah, I believe currently in their second attempt, you know, I'm not gonna spoil their series. Actually. I'm not gonna be cutting wild encounters, because, like, again, I'm envisioning this as more like a casual playthrough type thing. But I will be cutting wild encounters if it's something that Steel 99 and their friend have not seen yet on that route. Like, if it's a new encounter on a route that they haven't seen, I'm gonna be cutting it. Yeah, I know you can wait to get the Pokegear from your mother, or, like, wait before setting up the phone calls. I like to talk to her anyways. I like my mother in real life. I like my mother in this game. I'm gonna say bye before I leave town. Also, it helps that she gets me a choice scarf eventually. That alone is worth putting up with all the berries she gives you. Also, she gives you orange berries, which are good for unlocking viable Moo Moo Milk. Yeah, as we enter onto Route 29, this is a route that has very little changes. I actually think, early game Johto... Like, people complain a lot about Johto's problems, and kind of imagine them as existing throughout the entire game. But I actually don't think Johto's problems kick in until Ilex Forest, you start to see some problems, but you don't really see much in terms of problems for until like after Morty, I'd say. I'd say Morty being a kind of poorly designed boss fight normally is where you start to see the problems. I think Morty is the worst designed boss fight in the series, specifically in the remakes. He's okay in the originals. But I think in the remakes, Morty is very poorly designed. I'll probably explain why when we get to him, and some of the changes I made to him. It's like, back to the topic at hand, there's not a lot of early game changes, because I think the early game's honestly fine. But as we saw there with Sentret is normally on this route, and you would assume Sentret is like real common, right? It isn't. You would assume Sentret is strangely common, because it's the Rattata of this region, but no, it's actually very rare. Like, normally after you leave this route, you're not going to see it again for a while. So I kind of made that more common, because even though it's not the most exciting Pokemon, it should be a common Pokemon. Pidgey is another good example. We're probably going to see it click a move here, which is going to be, let's see, Gust. Normally I believe it starts off with Tackle, but here it starts off with Gust, and the reason for that is because it's the basic flying type, and I wanted to like kind of show off that flying type immediately. I don't know why I didn't have a sound effect there. Again, this might be a bit buggy because it's... That is bugging me that there's no Gust there. I hope that gets fixed, because my sound effects are working perfectly fine. But for some reason I'm not hearing the Gust sound effect there. Yeah, we're also trying to get up to level 6. I'm actually playing on the hard mode version of my ROM hack. And what that does is it does exactly what it says. It's just harder than the normal thing, and that includes every trainer having max IVs. So our rival battle in a bit is going to have max IVs, so I actually do kind of want that level advantage. Especially since Gamada's nature, while nice, means my tackles are going to do a lot less damage. And Totodile is pretty physically bulky. It and Chikorita are both decently bulky. But yeah, hard mode, like, in terms of the intended level of difficulty I was going for, that is what the normal mode is. Like, I was not intending a difficulty hack, I was trying to make, like, a well-designed, casual experience. And so far, I think I've been getting that. I've seen a couple Reddit posts where someone will ask, like, hey, what's some good hacks to get into ROM hacking? And I've seen people not ROM hacking, Nuzlocking. And I've kind of seen mine suggested a couple times as like a stepping stone. Like, instead of Hard Gold, Soul Silver, you would go Wolf Gold and Master Silver, and then like Sacred Gold, in terms of learning how to Nuzlocke. And honestly, I think that's fair. That is, I think my ROM hack is about the same level of difficulty as something like Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon. But there were some things I felt ideas I had that were a bit rough when playtesting. So I just made a hard mode so I could still use those ideas. And while I was at it, I just made all the trainers have perfect IVs and all that, as well as slightly higher levels. Yeah, because I actually want to show off quite a few of the early game Pokemon, because a lot of people, because the routes aren't super changed, basically just kind of like taking a lot of ideas from Pokemon Crystal is what the routes do, in terms of their new encounters. It's not particularly noticeable what's different early on, so I want to show off some of those, like, encounters. So, like, 3 of my permanent team members are going to be gotten before the first gym. I'm just going to try and show off a few things. There was actually a bug I found last night, which made me feel really stupid. Because I know, on every other version of ROM hack, it shouldn't be there. Like, it should work on the other versions of the ROM hack. Something with a Pokédex, and I felt really, really embarrassing that I went to show it off because I was so proud of it, and it didn't work. I think I missed it for the hard mode of Master Silver specifically. Oh yeah, I'm playing on Master Silver because Seal99 Plays is doing WoofGold, and Strange, who is doing these Master Silver, isn't like recording their perspective. So we actually don't have we do not have a, like, good footage out there of Silver. And I would like to have that out there. We're gonna talk to Youngster Joey 3 times here, because this route kept being an absolute problem in playtesting. Like, everything about this route ended up being a problem with bugs at different point of the game, and I don't know what it is with this route in particular. But the first one was Youngster Joey kept crashing the game whenever I talked to him. So now, out of force of habit, just to make sure, I talk to him from every angle I can. Just to make sure. I'm kind of hoping to encounter a wild Pidgey, because I want to see if there's any issues with Dust. You know what? Let's see if the Poison Sting has a sound effect. I don't know why that was happening. Huh. That's really bugging me. After this battle, I'm gonna save and then kind of like see if I can look into fixing that. And then we'll like be right back. Actually, it's about to be nighttime, and one of my encounters is going to be nighttime, and one of my encounters is going to be daytime, or like evening-ish. Yeah, that lack of sound effects is weird. I'm gonna have to check that. So yeah, we're gonna continue until I get my first Pokemon. And then we're going to take a brief break, I'll like cut back, and we'll be ready to catch another Pokemon and hopefully have sound effects on the enemy trainers. That is not normal. I never encountered that problem in playtesting. No one else I ever saw encountered that problem in playtesting. I asked people to report any bugs they find to me, and they never reported anything like that. I'm assuming it's a Melon DS issue, since again, like, Melon DS is not something I used for testing. So, like, if we go here, does Harden have a sound effect? Yeah, Harden has a sound effect. But, like, attacks, like, enemies trying to affect me don't have a sound effect. What does Mr. Pokemon have for us? Like a mystery egg, aka Togepi. Togepi's pretty unchanged. Although Togekiss you can actually get before Kanto this time, and it does have a interesting hard skill move. I've always liked the idea of Professor Oak being this super famous, like, scientist dude, and Elm being a more laid-back, rural, like, acquaintance slash, like, student type figure. Yeah, now that we have the Pokedex, I want to try to show off something, but for some reason this wasn't working, yesterday. And it really annoyed me, because I was really proud of this. So normally in ROM hacks, you don't see a lot of, like, whenever they change encounters, they don't typically go out of their way to change the Pokedex to reflect that. And I did here. But for some reason, it's not showing up. Like, for example, it's still showing Sentret as only being on Route 29. Sentret is elsewhere. Like, quite a few elsewheres, actually. Steel99 plays, if you see this, could you do me a favor and try looking at Sentret or another, like, changed encounter thing in your Pokedex? And seeing if you're able to see that. Because, like, you should be able to. I'm not sure why you can't. Maybe I just forgot this version in particular, but, like, I felt really bad trying to show that off yesterday, because it was a really cool feature. It worked whenever I was playtesting the games to make sure they worked at the last minute. It worked. I don't know why it's not working here. Anyways, Professor Elm is interested in not getting robbed, so we're gonna go visit a rival right quick. After I nervously talk to youngster Joey 3 more times. Whoops. Oh, my Cry didn't play there either. Oh, that time it did. I'm gonna test something. Can I, like, get an encounter that isn't Kakuna? Yeah, you should have Scratch. Please attack me. Yeah, that's having sound effect. Could you please scratch me? I know you have an attack. I know you have Scratch. You might have Quick Attack, actually. Point is, you have an attack. I'm just gonna have anything else fight me. Like a rival. Whom we should be fine against? Does he... I think I have better attack IV, so comparison to last night, it does kind of make up for the worse nature. Like, last night's Cyndaquil was real bad. So yeah, our first rival battle. I can't wait to show it off, but like, people have really liked what I've done with the rival battle so far. So that's working. Yeah. Okay, all the sound effects are working. And I'm taking a lot more damage than he is. Which is concerning. So, hold up, I'm gonna test something. So I didn't hear anything there. Let's hope he leers. Oh, that is weird. Whenever I've been having my earbuds out so I can kind of hear myself a bit better. Because I can assure you this game audio is louder on my end than it is on yours. And, ooh, that did a lot of damage. Yeah, that's not a good... I kind of predicted this would be a problem. That's fine, this ain't no Nuzlocke. And honestly, narratively, it kind of works for us to lose here. Given Silver's whole character arc. Yeah, back to the problem. Apparently the problem is just whenever I have my left earbud out, there's certain sounds I can't hear, and I don't know if that's a weird Melon DS quirk or if it's a problem with my earbuds, but that is never a problem I've had before. That threw me off pretty massively. Yeah, you can see the effects of both my modest nature and Silver's increased IVs there. I think in future episodes, I'm gonna increase the OBS audio in the game, but like actually decrease the audio, like its actual audio on my end, so it should sound relatively the same for y'all, but better for me. Yeah, I guess we don't actually need to test that. I figured it out mid-playthrough. Weird quirk of my earbuds, I guess. So there's a few different names that you could do for him. If you don't enter a name, it defaults to Soul, I believe. But that's not his canon name, so I don't know why it does that. I mean, probably because it's, you know, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and all that. But yeah, it doesn't do the random name thing. We're just gonna go canon name here since I want his canon name since I did a decent bit of effort into making his story arc be a bit better pacing-wise. Because his story arc is pretty good normally, but it all just kind of happens right at the end. I wanted to like kind of have a tiny bit of build-up. We'll see it in a bit, but there is some changed dialogue to like reflect that. His team also kind of leads into his story arc a bit. Yeah, there are 2 Pokemon I would like to catch before nighttime falls. One of which is a permanent team member. So we have 10 minutes to catch 2 Pokemon. Initially, I only went to Violet City, like, and I was gonna do Sprout Tower today. But I lost the recording, so I feel like doing a longer episode this time, like a longer episode 1. I think we're gonna go up through Faulkner. I'll probably cut out some of the level grinding. But yeah, like, after we beat Faulkner, like, once we reach Faulkner, there's gonna be more dedicated changes. Anyways, the other reason I picked a girl, especially all the time in playtesting, is because it saves like 30 seconds per playtest. Right here. Which is especially nice if Route 30 keeps breaking for no reason and you need to test what the problem is. Which typically involves resetting the entire game just to make 100% sure. I'm very thorough with the playtest. I typically playtest from the start of the game, and I would playtest multiple times a week. Just to make sure everything is working properly. Which is why the whole Pokédex thing is really bugging me. Because that worked perfectly fine in both Master Silver and WoofGold, and I swear it was supposed to work for the hard modes as well. I'm gonna lose my mind if it's like not working in any of them, and I just never knew, because I was really proud of that. That took me like a couple days worth of effort. Because when you change a route's location, it doesn't automatically replace, like, alter in the Pokédex. Strangely, like you can see here, we encountered a Centret on the route above Cherry Grove, Route 30, but it's only showing on Route 39. Even if we go to our current time. Like, there's a few other routes that have Centret. Centret's probably in like a third of the Johto routes. Yeah, let's skip straight to 29, straight to 46. Because there's two new encounters here, each of which 10%. They kind of swap out depending on what time it is. And right now, one of those encounters is the one I want. It's not this one. This one's here normally. This game is really loud on my end, so sorry if it makes it a bit too quiet in editing. I'm gonna, like, decrease it slightly so I can have both my earbuds in. Just because I'm paranoid about that audio issue I was having. But yeah, this route is an easy example of us taking something from Crystal for an idea. I forget if it has the same nighttime encounter, but Crystal does have a Pokemon here during the morning and day. You just gotta find it. Is this it? No. If it takes a while, I'll just cut to when we find it. There it is! Phanpy. This is a Pokemon that normally you cannot catch until you reach Blackthorn City, basically right before the Elite Four. And it's a Pokemon I really like, and I added it here because Pokemon Crystal added it here. And Crystal had a lot of really good ideas for sprucing up the earlier routes. Yeah, that took way longer than we thought than it did last night. Last night I got it in like 3 encounters. This time it took like 20. Statistically, I should have gotten it around 10. Okay, crit shouldn't kill from here. Let me know if there's any audio issues, but I'll probably notice in recording, like when I'm editing. A crit kills from here, so let's just stroke a Pokeball. Yeah, we have 3 minutes to catch one more team member before nighttime falls. I could always just change my clock, but I'd prefer not to, because I'm lazy. I prefer to be lazy when playing video games, so I can be less lazy when actually making them. I did actually start work on a much more, like, technically impressive ROM hack. As this ROM hack, I feel, is just a really smooth playing experience. But in terms of what it does, it's not that impressive. It's just a really well-polished Vanilla Plus ROM hack. But I did start work on a more, like, difficulty hack type thing for Platinum, and then life events happened, and I kind of lost all motivation for ROM hacking. Like, I'm more in the mood for making, like, actual video games now, since I do know how to do that. We'll look at Gaia in a moment. I want to hurry on getting that other encounter. But yeah, the gist for Gaia's nickname. The gist for Gaia's nickname is it's just like I think some Greek god of the earth or whatever. And I have a nostalgic soft spot for Phanpy, because when I was a lot younger, I would play a lot of Draft League, which is a competitive format based around the whole idea. No, not Kakuna, that thing sucks. Oh, please get it. There we go. I want to show off some of the Beedrill buffs. But yeah, the whole... When I first played Draft League, my MVP was Donphan, and the whole thing with Donphan, or like Draft League, is that it's a competitive format based around drafting a team of Pokemon at the beginning of the season, and then fighting a bunch of other people who did the same, and counter-teaming them week after week. And Donphan was my MVP in my first Draft League. I really love using it in competitive. And it's not changed that much in this game, but it is better. It is improved. There's one quality of life change that I think is really nice. I'm actually not that big into quality of life changes. I think a lot of quality of life changes just replace gameplay. And if you're using quality of life as a replacement for gameplay, you should just improve the gameplay. But sometimes I like a little quality of life, and there's one quality of life change I'm surprised Phanpy doesn't have normally, since it fits so well with its gameplay. But yeah. I actually don't have a Beedrill nickname off the top of my head. I mean, I might have one in my nickname spreadsheet, but I don't remember it. So for now, we're gonna go Taranza, because I've been obsessing over Kirby Air Riders. Taranza isn't a bee, he's a spider, but screw it, his lover turns into a bee, and then dies, or whatever. Spoilers for Triple Deluxe, I know. Let's actually check out these two now. Lonely Nature, that is better than the, I think it was... I forget what it was last night, but it wasn't good. And then that's kind of mediocre. I would have preferred the special defense stat. I forget if Poison Sting has a buff. It might have a slightly increased poison chance. But I didn't think it needed the buff overall, because Poison Sting is just kind of a utility move. Like, a lot of Pokemon, when you buff the IVs of boss encounters, you'll notice that they're a lot bulkier, so having that high poison chance is honestly just kind of nice in that situation. Just the fact that there's more situations to value poison is a buff for Poison Sting, even if the move isn't itself any better. Please tell me Phanpy is at least showing. It isn't even showing in it for black form. I forget where it is normally, but like... That's weird. Maybe I forgot for like... Maybe I messed it up with Sentret and Phanpy in particular. When we get the next Pokemon, I'm gonna check again. Like, maybe I just messed it up for those two in particular. Yeah, we should be able to get something. Fun fact, when I was first working on this route, there was one Pokemon that I couldn't get to register properly as appearing on this route. I only have 2 Pokeballs, actually, so I'm gonna go back and buy a few. But yeah, I couldn't get this route to register exchange Pokemon for the longest time, so what I did is, for anything that was different, I turned it into an Arceus, so it'd be really obvious if it was working. If it was working, I would just encounter a bunch of Arceus. Yeah, those 10... That's a lot of Pokeballs for this point in the game. We're kind of broke on money, but I'm not concerned about money, because I don't really use items in battle other than catching Pokemon. Even though this isn't a Nuzlocke, I do like to not use items in battle. I think it makes the strategy of a lot of the boss fights way more interesting. I rarely even use them out of battle, so I don't really need to worry much about using potions. You know what? We're gonna have to heal whatever it is we catch, so we're gonna go back down south. In the event that, if this takes a while, I'll just cut to it. But it shouldn't. It's a 10% chance. But yeah, it sounds like on their current attempt, they're getting a lot more unique encounters than they did initially. Oh wow, that was quick. No need to cut there. Yeah, Poliwag you normally would have to backtrack to with Surf in order to catch it here, but I made it available a bit earlier if you just walk around here at night. And just a reminder, in early versions of this ROM hack, this would have been a level 4 Arceus. Kinda easy to know that the ROM hack is working properly when this tadpole turns into God. But yeah, we aren't gonna see it for a bit, but there are some buffs to this line. Because, like, the thing with Poliwrath is you'd think a water fighting type introduced in Gen 1, a gen where all fighting is physical and all water is special. Like, that sounds like it would be a very... You know what, this thing deserves a Premier Ball, it's cool. That sounds like it'd be a very sort of... well-rounded mixed attacker. Not like crazy offense, but like some level of offense in both stats. But no, the line has really bad special attack. Like, Poliwrath only has 70. So one thing I did is for Poliwrath, I took 10 special defense and moved it into special attack. Which I think is overall a victory of a trade-off for this line. And Poliwhirl, and I believe Poliwag as well, also get that change, although it's less than 10. I think Poliwhirl gets it in increments of 5. Anyways, this is going to be Glenn after Chrono Trigger. This would have been really nice if it was a shiny. Because Glenn's the frog character. Relaxed nature. I think that's an improvement. Last night it was modest, which is like, yeah, that's alright. But what I was hoping for on it initially was like probably like a mixed attacking set. So losing some physical attack was going to be pretty bad. There is another change with Poliwrath we're going to see later. But for now, we are gonna go on our way to our first trainer battle that isn't a rival. And this time, we're not going to lose. Yeah, the Switch training is actually going to be pretty intensive, because not all of these are permanent team members. We have 4 Pokemon right now, but only one of which is going to be permanent. I know Hoot Hoot learns a few more Dark-type moves by level up. It's still normal flying, but it has more that, like, nighttime predator thing. Like, I think it learns, like, Pursuit and Feint Attack relatively early. Which is interesting. That's one of those changes I kind of did for Morty, because the problem with Morty is there's like no dark types available. He has Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball Gengar is absolutely fucked if you don't have a Steel type, a Dark type, or like a normal type on your team. And there's very few options for Steel types by that point. There's one option for a Dark type, And not everyone's going to try to fit a normal type onto their team, so I felt it was kind of BS. But because there's a few more options for that, between, like, the normal types generally having small buffs, a few more dark types are available, you have the option to get some evolved steel types, although you probably don't need it. I felt like you could get away with a much more well-rounded Morty fight. Normally how Morty functions is you either lose the Gengar via raw stats, have a bunch of Pokemon that evolved relatively early, or you have like a normal or dark type and just win completely unopposed. You either have Umbreon or you're sweeping him with a level 1 Togepi. The level 1 Togepi thing is funny, but the fact that that's like the optimal strategy is kind of stupid. Anyways, youngster Joey here is the first trainer with a higher level. Because he is kind of designed around the whole idea of youngster Joey loses to youngster Mikey, the next one, because he's stronger but has less Pokemon, I did make his Rattata a little bit stronger. Believe it or not, it's even more top percentage than normal. That Poison Sting did nothing. And that was a crit. Okay, Fanpy, let's go. Those IVs are making a big difference. I should have switch trained a little bit. I'm actually in big trouble. Because Poliwag doesn't have a move and I am modest nature. Tackle was going to do a lot here. Yeah. This is gonna feel really bad losing the youngster Joey. Your tackles did nothing. I thought they were gonna do more. That crit on Weedle also sucked, because that would have put this thing in tackle range, and I could have just, like, switched out here. I'm gonna try to get rid of a defense drop. I think it's a damage roll, how much the tackle or quick attacks do to me. So if it does 5 damage, we might kill it. If not, this is gonna be the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in a Pokemon game. Oh, it's going straight for the Tail Whip? Unfortunately, it's faster than us. Tail Whip again? Nope, that's it. We lost the youngster Joey. This is... I don't know what Cyndaquil... I know it's modest nature, but it has the same attack stat as last night's Cyndaquil. It's just not doing much. I mean, last night Cyndaquil got a lucky crit and managed to beat Totodile despite its bad attack IVs. So it actually got some experience. I think that's the difference. I'm gonna get all of these up 1 level right quick. I will be right back. Ooh, +3 attack. attack and HP. That's gonna be a big difference. Okay, and we are back. I think Amada's nature on Cyndaquil was having more of a problematic effect than we thought. Because I don't think I've gotten a point of attack yet. I was struggling to, like, I couldn't two-shot, like, level 2 Rattatas when, like, grinding this. I was initially only gonna get, like, these 3 up to level 5. Oh, and, Glenn learned Bubble, which is good, so it can actually function now. Oh, good, we got a good ability on this. I'd rather have that than Damp. It's like, Tambora, I think, just needed a little bit of extra bulk and power, so when it actually gets Ember soon, it can actually function. Because I'll be honest, it's doing, like, no damage. It is getting out-damaged by all of these. Like, Bubble can hit things super effectively. And, like, once it catches up, it probably will be out-damaging anyways. You can poison. You're just strong. Relatively. Yo, Solidary got 3 attack on one of its level ups, although the second level up was pretty underwhelming. Yeah, we should be fine now. I don't remember if his Rattata has Runaway or Guts, but just in case, I'm not gonna lead Weedle. I want to lead Weedle. I'm not going to. I cannot believe I lost to youngster Joey. You really forget how big of a difference IVs make sometimes. Because normally he has 0 IVs, but now he has perfect 31. But honestly, the bigger difference is just the fact that Cyndaquil sucks. Like, my tackles were doing nothing to this thing, even after the defense drop. Okay, so Gaia is in crit range. But I would like to get off the extra tackle. I can't wait for Cyndaquil to actually learn a move. In fact, I'm just gonna go straight out into Cyndaquil for the kill. Let it get the EXP. It should die here. Oh, thank God. I don't know what I would do if I lost youngster Joey a second time. 12 years of competitive experience, lost to youngster Joey. As you see, we got 80 gold there, which is 16 more than normal. The way the game calculates how much money you get is it multiplies a value based off trainer class, like the level of the last Pokemon in their party. So, as we're going to see later, I increased the prices of some items, namely a Goldenrod department store, to account for the fact that a slightly increased level curve. Like, that 16 gold you get here and there from just me increasing the level slightly, that adds up. Especially since some trainer classes give a lot more money than youngsters do. Like, that was a 25% increase in money. Which early on, like, a 1 level difference, that is a pretty big increase in money, and you will notice it by the time you get to Goldenrod. And I found it kind of broke the money balancing, so I just increased the price of some of the TMs there. To where they're about the same level of difficulty to get as normal. What is your special bulk? 20-10. 24-9. So I'm actually going to lead Poliwag for the next battle. Actually, no, Poliwag can level grind really easy. I'm not that concerned about it. So yeah, just going into this fight against youngster Mikey, his levels are going to be unchanged, although the changes to Pidgey's level up moveset do affect them. Since he's just kind of using the level up moveset. So yeah, we're just gonna tackle here, get some experience. I'm not concerned about the grinding of Glen at all, because we're coming up on an area with quite a few Geodudes, a dark caves, so I can just bubble them. The bubble is gonna be really weak, it won't one-shot, but it can two-shot those real easy, and Geodudes give decent EXP. Plus, there's another Pokemon in there that's good for EXP. Where it's like, Gaia is gonna struggle with EXP until it gets Takedown and Flail. Like, Flail is gonna be real nice on this thing. Yeah, that quick attack is doing a lot of damage. We're probably gonna have to switch again. I'm not gonna keep going back to the Pokemon Center. I will use a potion after this battle. Oh, looks like we'll be fine. $3 HP. I'll take that. Oh, and speaking of Devil, there's Flail. I think I'm actually not gonna use the potion. I am gonna get rid of Odor Sleuth though, because it's gonna be a long time until I'm using this against ghost types. I don't think there's gonna be a trainer that uses a ghost type for a while. Let's switch to Tyranza for the next battle. The next two battles are optional, but I want to use them anyways. They're good EXP, it gets a little bit of money. I like just talking to all the trainers. Bugcatcher Dawn. So this trainer has the same Pokemon, but they are increased in level. Like, they still very much feel like the early game bug catchers. This isn't one of those ROM hacks where you'd be playing through Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and then, like, surprise, suddenly you're fighting, like, a Venipede or something. It's like, no. These are kind of what you'd expect from early game bug trainers in Gen 4. I wanted this to still feel like a normal Pokemon game. And not a fan fiction. Not that there's anything wrong with those crazier hacks, I just feel like there's a lot of hacks where it's like everything they do is just add as much as they can to one game. So they all kind of feel the same, because they're all adding the same things. Whereas this hack is more so me trying to create something that can replace the original game for me and my friend group. Because yeah, I've actually found, even though I have an extreme nostalgia bias for this game, I have found it very hard to actually go back to it. Since I started working on this ROM hack. I think I did a good job at, like, giving a reason for every change I made. I do kind of wish Caterpie would go down a little bit faster. I never think about the Shield Dust ability, but I think this has Shield Dust, and that might be preventing the poisons. I forget what that ability even does, because it's not really an ability you use that often. But this is a bit annoying. Ooh, that crit is annoying. And there we go. There goes Caterpie. As Tyranza grows to level 6, we take down Youngster Dawn. I mean, Bugcatcher Dawn. Caterpie is gonna... Tyranz is going to be real annoying to level up, so I am actually going to keep it out for the next battle, but I'm going to heal it first. Like, Tambora has been easily the worst Pokemon on the team so far, despite being a starter and the highest level, but that's going to change next level. I'm not super concerned. I swore I did this. I guess not. Yeah, this route has a couple notable things. If you're in the morning, you'd be able to find Teddiursa, which I think is pretty cool. Teddiursa is available at all times of day in Dark Cave, like right around this corner. If the game will let me finish my point. Yeah, in here, you're gonna find Teddiursa at all times of the day, alongside Dunsparce, Diglett, and Geodude. I think at nighttime you can also find Ghastly. But during the mornings, Teddiursa also appears on Route 31. Growlithe and Vulpix, which are version exclusives, I believe it's Vulpix in this version, they can also appear here. Normally you can't get them until you reach the Goldenrod on, like, Route 36, I believe? Yeah, it should be Route 36. But yeah, much like Crystal, you can get them before fighting Faulkner. There isn't that little patch of grass next, like, west of Violet City that Crystal added, but you can find them here. And also, Bellsprout is on this route. I forget if it is normally, but it is now, and it has a second ability in the form of Gluttony. Which, fun fact, the Battle Frontier, I didn't change that, but the Battle Frontier, I thought it, like, would pick, like, oh, for this set, this Pokemon uses Ability 1, so I thought anything I changed wouldn't, like, affect, like, if I gave a Pokemon a second ability, it wouldn't affect the Battle Frontier. No, it affects the Battle Frontier. Victory Bells can have Gluttony. That's cool, I like that. Let's get this first. Pokeathlon is kind of annoying on emulator, so I'm probably not going to care much about grinding that out with these, but I do want some more advanced Pokeballs. I eventually want to complete a good portion of the Pokedex. Oh yeah, speaking of the Pokedex, let's check Poliwag, because this is driving me mad. Wait, we wouldn't be able to see it anyways, because it's always on that route. Never mind. Bad example. Anything else that we've had that is noticeably more common? No, not really. I mean, I could just encounter the fire types on this route. Oh, I know what I can do. I can check out Dark Cave. Yeah, after this battle, we'll check out Dark Cave and see if maybe those are working, and I just mess it up with Poliwag and Phanpy in particular. Because the way you do that Pokedex thing is you are just editing a text document, and if something goes wrong with... I don't know if y'all can hear that, but one of the dogs is going a bit crazy. But yeah, you edit the Pokedex locations that it shows in, like, a text document. So it is pretty easy that you could just mess up at one point on that. Tyranza is not going to get through this battle without me having to switch. Like, I think if he sends out a Weedle or the Spinarak, the spoilers, he has a Spinarak, I do just switch here because I can't keep doing this damage. Yeah, Spinarak and Ladian, they're kind of designed as, like, early game bugs, but, like, by a different kind of function compared to Basic. And they have, like, generally higher stats. Because they're supposed to, like, be early game bugs, but you stick with the bad form for longer. So I actually buffed their base stats quite a bit in their evolved forms, as well as redid their level up movesets to make them more functional. It is a testament to how bad Lady Ann is initially, because I buffed it massively, and I buffed it as much as I could without just inventing a new Pokemon. It's still one of the worst fully evolved Pokemon, but it functions now. Like, it can actually do damage early on. Bad time for me to say that. It can do damage early on, proceeds to do 2 damage. But I promise it can do things now. And then it kind of falls off into a more support-based Pokemon eventually. Like, I don't know, maybe I missed it, but this Ladybug that we're fighting right now, it does have Focus Energy. Yep, there it is. That could be Baton Pass, and Lady Ann gets a lot of cool Baton Pass things it can do. Oh yeah, it also has Iron Fist as a possible ability. I forget what ability it replaces, but it has that now, and that's pretty cool. And they are version exclusives. Like, I think during the daytime we'd have a chance at Ladybug. I forget which one is where. I can fact check right quick. Whichever one of those is version exclusive will appear somewhere on the screen. I haven't really figured out the editing for this game yet, in terms of what I'm going to do. I think we just tackle this and just accept the poison if it happens. First time our tackle has done a reasonable amount of damage. Unfortunately, we got poisoned immediately, so it's not going to matter. We're probably going to have to switch anyways. Yeah, Ariados in comparison, it does Ariados things, like it does what you'd expect it to. It just evolves a few levels earlier, and now evolves when Lady Ann does. For some reason, it evolved like at like level 22 before. I think now it's 18. And it just kind of does exactly the same thing it did more, but just a little bit better. Like, I think their BSTs are around like 430, which is a pretty big buff. For how their level up, for how their evolution level is designed, you'd expect them to be around there. It's really weird to me that they have like worse stats than Geek. Pardon the dickish interruption there. Okay, I'm back after 5 minutes of just waiting on this screen. There are people in this household who do not know how to cook without making an excessive amount of noise, just dropping things, slamming counters, slamming refrigerators, seemingly on accident, because they have this problem so consistently. Anyways, I forget where I left off. I think I was saying something about how, like, Ariados kind of just does Ariados things, but better than it did before. And we're gonna switch here, because we are low on health and poison, and this thing probably has the most intimidating stats out of the Pokemon on this thing's team. I think we're just gonna try to weaken this with Glenn, because Phanpy should do a lot with Flail, like once it takes like one more hit. But that's gonna take a while. Anyways, I've been playing a lot of Kirby Air Riders. I got it a few days ago. I bought it for myself for Christmas, although Amazon took a few extra days to deliver it. I didn't get it until this past Sunday, which I believe was the 28th. And I've only played 2 games this year. Life problems have made it kind of hard to actually keep up with gaming. Which is a shame, because I really wanted to. This year looked real good for gaming. I only ended up playing demos, Legends EA, and Kirby Air Riders. Air Riders is definitely the best out of that. Like, even if I had played other games that came out this year, it probably would have been my game of the year. It is... I have one problem with it, and it's the fact that it's so close to having a Kirby character from each of the mainline series. But it's missing Kirby 64, Star Allies, and Forgotten Land. But at least it has a boss from Kirby 64. The soundtrack is peak. The story is actually pretty good. For being such a weird little kart racer where you're only racing with one button, it's like the best feeling racing game to play I've like ever experienced. Like, it's the same levels of polish as something like what I've seen from my friend who plays a lot of iRacing. It's that level of polish, but for like a casual kart racer instead of a serious like NASCAR sim. Like iRacing is so polished that during COVID, NASCAR actually used iRacing for a couple races, if I'm not mistaken, and a few NASCAR drivers got their start on iRacing. That's how good that sim is. Air Riders feels that smooth, but in a more casual, chaotic, like party game sense. It feels so good to control. I've been playing a lot of Susie because Susie's one of my favorite Kirby characters, and my other favorite Kirby characters are in way more games than Susie. Like, even DeRoach, like, I play Kirby Squeak Squad all the time because that was my first video game, and he's one of my favorite Kirby characters. I like him more than Susie. But he's at least in, like, Mass Attack, and has more lines in Mass Attack than, like, there are total in the rest of the series combined. So, like, you're not missing much with Susie. Like, you're not missing much with DeRoach. You can always just play Mass Attack if you want more DeRoach, whereas, like, with Susie, if you want more Susie, you want to play Magolor's microtransaction fun game. But the game has just been peak. It's so beautiful. It controls so well. The soundtrack is so good. The online's really good as well. The machine market's really good. Except for an absolutely vile creature I saw last night that is definitely taken down by now. Actually, no, it was 2 nights ago I saw that. But it's been taken down by now because, duh. Yeah, we're just gonna try to find a Diglett right quick. Or, like, at least see a Diglett. Teddy Ursa also works. I just want to see one of those two. Just so we can, like, kind of confirm. Because the Pokédex thing is really bugging me. I forget if there's an item in here. I might as well check while I'm looking around. Although if I find it now, I'm not going to bother checking. Geodude is still the most common encounter here. Like, Teddy Ursa is, like, pretty decently common as well. It's like Diglett and, it's Diglett and Dunsparce that are the harder encounters here. Most of what you'll find in here is the Teddy Ursas. And the Geodudes. Case in point. Be careful if you try to use this thing in a casual playthrough, because Teddy Ursa levels up pretty slowly. It is probably the slowest to level up thing available at this point. That is really sad. Like, I'm like 90% confident that that's working on the normal versions. I'm actually gonna, like, probably show some footage of that type of thing working now. Because I assure you, if you're playing this game on, like normal difficulty, that should work. Like, I've had nothing but easy times with that. It's been perfectly fine. I'm gonna try to get some footage of that and just show it. But yeah, let's work our way towards Violet City now. We've been going for a really long time. I might actually just stop it when we get to Violet City anyways. And now screw it, extra long first parter. Here's something neat. Oh sweet, we're not going to be using this. What do you say? I have not. As you can see, Primo is there. He still gives the same eggs as normal, Wooper, Mareep, and Slugma. 2 of those are unchanged. Slugma does have a few buffs. I forget what we get from this guy. Let's find out. When you dig. Oh wait. you have to actually beat him first. Well, I guess since we're fully healed, we can get started on the next part. Yeah, there's also something we're going to be looking for in here. Oh, Sprout Tower does have bell sprouts here now. Not during nighttime, I don't think, but yes, the place where they worship bell sprouts does now indeed have bell sprouts. Let's try and get an encounter. Actually, I want to get Cyndaquil leveled up first, because it'll be real hard to catch it if I'm just trying to hit it with Bubble or Poison Sting. So let's just level you up first on this dude. After this battle, we're probably going to have to cut the Pokemon in question, because it is the rarest encounter at this point in the game. I forget if it's 1% or 2%, but it's definitely not more than 2%. Oh, thank God we got a crit. The quicker we get through this Bellsprout, the quicker we can get Ember and actually do things, because I think it's level 8 for Ember in this ROM hack. I think it's like level 9 normally, or it might be level 7. I changed the level up, like, pacing a little bit with Cyndaquil, so I can more easily fit one of the move additions in. Yeah, we have Ember now, so we should actually function. Finally, I can do damage. Okay. Me and Cyndaquil will be back once we find the encounter. Oh, finally. Even with this technically being a guaranteed encounter because of duplicate claws in their Nuzlocke, it still feels crazy one of them actually got it. Like, this thing is... I'm pretty sure it's a 2% encounter rate, but it might be 1%. That took a lot more than 50 encounters. Now, please don't crit burn this thing. Yeah, we have Psywave there. I'll be honest, I'm not taking the chance of getting a critical burn. I am going Glenn here. I'm not even sure Glenn kills with 2 crits. But yeah, this is a Pokemon you're intended to get somewhere else, but you can get it very rarely here. I never noticed the floor of this Sprout Tower is a cave. I don't know how I never noticed that. I don't really have a nickname for this. Like, I'd like to name a lot of Pokemon you can find in Pokemon Conquest after their, like, matching major character in that game. The problem is the DS keyboard doesn't give me the ability to, like, put the right accent over the O of that character's name. So this thing would just be called No. If anyone has any other nicknames for this thing, I can change it once we get to Goldenrod. Because this is going to be one of our permanent encounters for a bit. I'm going Bubble here, and I'm just going to hope it doesn't hit crit. Because it has a low catch rate, and it might just use all my Pokeballs. Like it shouldn't, I have 11. I bought those Pokeballs for a reason. This was that reason. But I'm scared. Okay, thank God. It took me like 10 minutes to find this even on speed up. Like my laptop is pretty good. Even with Melon DS having slower speed up than Desume, I'm still getting like 10 times the normal speed. I probably went through like 200 encounters. Yeah, this is just going to be named after the Pokemon Conquest character, but I don't really have a means to put the, like, symbol over the E. Over the O, I mean. So it doesn't actually function as a nickname right now. I need to find something else to name it. Naive, not bad. It buffs speed, that's good. Yeah, right now our only attack is Psy-Wave. That is buffed accuracy Psy-Wave, although it still misses pretty frequently. I'm gonna let's just go to the Pokemon Center right quick and take no with us. Oh, that's so lovely seeing it behind us. It's also nice just getting Misdreavus early on, because I feel like in Gen 2 it was post game. It just wasn't really in Gen 3. It was kind of rare in Gen 4, but they gave it an evolution, which stat-wise, I actually think Misdreavus works fine as an in-game Pokemon. In fact, it was OU in Gen 2 competitive, which is like a highest tier that isn't banned. So like, its stats actually kind of function well in-game, even though they're weaker than they look. So like, gameplay-wise, it was honestly kind of fine as just like a cute single-stage ghost. But you just couldn't get it. You didn't get it until right before Red, or until they gave it an evolution. So it just never got a chance to shine, because functionally, Mismagius kind of replaces Misdreavus. But now, you can make good use of it. Also, fun fact, you know what? I'm gonna leave a certain surprise for this thing, actually. I'm gonna keep something with this a surprise, because people playing this game who going for Misdreavus might just find something interesting on occasion. Yeah, Misdreavus is gonna be like probably the hardest Pokemon to level up because Psy-Wave is so inconsistent, so let's just leave it for now. We might have to switch train it. So cool seeing that early on. I'm really glad I decided to use Misdreavus for my team. I'm still holding out hope that I just forgot a few Pokemon. Please tell me this works. Nope, just its normal location. I guess I'll find out in editing if I'm insane or not. I really hope I'm not, because I swear, it was working in the last playtest I did before I uploaded the ROM hack to people. It was working. Maybe I just missed this one of the 4 versions. But I'm gonna feel really bad, like, if I still have this problem when I'm looking and editing. How does our first Psy-Wave go? It can do up to 7, I believe. It might round up to 8, but Pokemon pretty much always rounds down, so I think it can go from 2 to 7. That looked like it probably did, like, 3, maybe? That was a lot better. That was probably 5 or 6. Psy-Wave can be anywhere from half our level rounded down to half our level... I mean, to 1.5 times our level rounded down as well. So yeah, I'll take a 3-shot there, especially because Bellsprouts just give such good experience. Like, if we get a level, that is... Like, we won't have, like, a Weedle or a Cyndaquil situation where we just might not get offensive power during the level. We will get a boost to damage. Not a great boost, but it'll always be something. Like now we can do anywhere, like instead of 2 to 7.5, we can now do anywhere from 3 to 9. Like 9 damage is pretty decent. And also those are just good stats across the board. If we actually had an attack, we'd be cooking right now. Let's go one more Psywave. That's what I get. And we're gonna have to switch here. Our good buddy Tambora is gonna have quite a few problems when it comes to level grinding, so let's get some of the Sprout Tower stuff out of the way for you, buddy. I'm trying to think, what did I choose as my flying type? Did I have a flying type listed on my plan team? I'm gonna look right quick. There is an available Pokepaste. Well, not available to y'all, but like in my PMs I have it stored somewhere. I'm gonna focus on the gameplay though. Oh yeah, I really like a bag in this game and how it kind of like shows different angles of like your player model. And like it shows different angles of a bag. Like this is real nice. Okay, I actually don't have a flying Pokemon planned on my team. So I'm gonna need to catch an HM slave at some point in order to help me fly. Or since Johto's pretty compact, I might actually just stick to walking and biking everywhere. Probably not actually. The routes are small, but they'll have like random ponds in the middle of them. That makes it kind of annoying. Oh, I know a flying type we can show off in the short term. 2 of them actually. Which one do I want more? I mean, one of them would actually give something we don't have yet, and that's flying type offense. Actually, they both give that. Oh, we're almost out of Psywave, so soon we're gonna have to just not use this thing at all. Yeah, Psywave, when it doesn't have a rotten 80 accuracy, honestly not bad early game. Just the fact that I don't have to worry about the type matchups. And like every level, like at this point in the game, the extra 0.5 to 1.5 damage I get per level is just good. Oh, my dog just walked in the room. Hopefully they won't make much noise. If so, we'll probably pick up loudly over the microphone. Even though they're such a small creature, but they make so much noise. And let's train Weedle. This one might take a while, but like, Weedle's another Pokemon I'm nervous about grinding up. And it can take on this thing relatively easily. How much do you do, buddy? Oh, I was gonna speed up through that, but you just got a crit. Taranza was offended that I tried to speed up through its battle, I guess. It even got like a double crit for good measure. I didn't really increase the level of these sages because their bell sprouts in them give so much EXP and money anyways. What do you have to say, buddy? I'm just imagining it dancing on like its little red feetsies there. Oh, rash nature. I think I commented on that. What do you have? Oh yeah, we also talked about that. I want to see what you say. That makes sense. Yeah. I'm sure the floor smells lovely, buddy. Oh, this is when it starts increasing in level. So I think we're gonna have to speed up through these. Normally I wouldn't, but again, this is a longer episode than what we're typically going to be doing. So yeah, let's just speed up through this. Like, we know the outcome of this battle already. Even with a crit, it's like it might only do 2 damage to us. But yeah, we will not be using as much speed up in future episodes. So optimally, we gain defense at the expense of power when we become Kakuna. So technically, if you want to get to Beedrill quickest, you would wait like a couple levels to evolve Kakuna into a Kakuna. I don't care. I like Kakuna, and I want to give it a little bit of a chance to shine. Also, who knows? Maybe if we poison something, Harden will be useful. Let's try you. Because taking a lot of damage from the Vine Whips might actually benefit us with Flail. Sage Neil. Like, how much does this do? Too much. If we were 1 level higher, that would actually work perfectly, but instead we are going into Tambora here. There we go. That crit might have mattered. Bellsprout has decent stats for this point in the game. And also, it's just that level 6 with perfect IVs. You'd be surprised at how bulky things can be with perfect IVs. Scyther is going to suck. I mean, I'm actually kind of concerned about this fight, so I'm going to lead Tambora. Like, my team matches up pretty badly into Elderly, he has the same team as normal, which is the perfect IVs actually matter. I think we need to get a strong start and just take out one of Elderly's Bellsprouts immediately. I think he leads Bellsprout. Yeah, so without the crit, we don't one-shot. And that's why I'm scared of Elderly. Because that can be annoying. There's going to be a cut here. Be back in a moment. Oh, let's learn Quick Attack and then I'll make a cut there. Yeah, I'll take that over tackle. Okay, we are back. There was just some more background noise. I kind of have an awkward, like, living setup where I live with my mother, so I can kind of take care of her because she's kind of up there in age. But I don't really have a door because there's not enough, like, rooms for me to have my own proper bedroom. So I actually live in the living room, and I don't have a door. So I have, like, noise problems quite frequently when recording. So expect a lot of cuts like that. I want to get back into live streaming eventually, so I can't really do anything about it then. Yeah, let's actually do this battle. They are not tools of war. He calls himself the Elder, but he was no match for me. Sure enough, those who lecture how you should be nice Pokemon, they cannot defeat me. I mean, he did win against us the first time. Ironically, we're gonna start beating him, like, after we've replaced most of our current team. All I care about are strong Pokemon that win every time. The rest of them don't mean anything. And he just leaves. The next time we see him, he should have slightly altered dialogue. I just want to fight the old man. It is indeed a place of training. The level grinding kinda goes crazy between all the Bellsprouts, Ghastlies, occasional Mistreamuses. Those give decent experience. As do you. You give decent experience and money, which is good because we need new Pokeballs. We are low on Pokeballs. Okay, so with the max IVs, our Embers probably aren't going to do much anyway, so I'm just going to smokescreen this. Oh, I thought it had Insomnia. Okay, well, good, it didn't Hypnosis us. In fact, it's trying to peck us to death. So we are going to have to switch out Tambora. Unless it keeps doing that. I don't think he's using the Expert AI. There's a small chance we wake up quickly here, so I'm going to keep clicking Ember. Like, that's one sleep turn. How much damage does this do? A crit? Because Tambora can't catch a break in this game. I'll be honest, I thought even a crit was going to do 14. 18. Oh, you're just faster. Gaia has not gotten an item from pickup yet. By the time we fought youngster Joey the first time and last... Oh, I forgot about this. Well, let's just try this. Actually, we probably should use Growl. Until we get put to sleep, I'm just gonna click Growl. Because it's probably gonna put us to sleep eventually, and it shouldn't click Hypnosis if we're already asleep, so we can just easily switch into something else. Thanks, asshole. After 2 Growls, this should take very little damage. Even with the level difference. After one more peck, Flail should be stronger than Tackle. After one more peck, Flail should actually be stronger than Tackle. Flail gets stronger pretty quick. Like, going from full health to half health, very little difference, but going from like half health to red health, complete game changer. Okay. So we're just gonna go into Taranza here and finish this off. This is going to take a moment. Don't you love Weedle and Kakuna? They do so much, so well. I mean, in the tier known as Gen 1 Tenyu, they are the best Pokemon because that tier has 6 Pokemon, none of which can really do anything, and they can poison the rest while being immune to poison themselves. But that's about it. Like in every other context, they are worse. They are weaker than Caterpie and Metapod. Tackle is a better move than Poison Sting. I still don't get why Bellsprout learns Flash, but I'll take it. Yep, and let's just get that iconic escape rope. Did he say anything if you, like, talk to them? Nope, you can't, like, investigate them. I never actually thought to try that before. So yeah, we're going... There's a few more things we want to do. First off, I want to go catch a Pokemon. Just give me a moment. I accidentally had my hand on the speed up there. I actually don't think this encounter is available at nighttime. So I'm actually going to change my time because I don't want to come back to this in like 12 hours. Behold. Magic. Again, we are back. We had a little bit of cut there. Again, due to the nature of my room, the fact that the dogs were currently eating meant even though it's a different room, they're only like 5-6 feet away from my microphone with not a whole lot in between them. So it would just be the loud crunching sounds. Anyways, there is an encounter to get here, and that is it. This is normally here, but it does have some small buffs. It has buffs to its power, like small buffs to its power. It's still mainly a fast support Pokemon, but its stats other than speed are relatively well-rounded at this point. And I don't think it has an attack yet, but it does get an attack earlier. This is going to be a pain. In fact, I think I want to use Poison Sting here. Get that good poison going. Let's try and get this. So I don't want to risk poison stinging it because the poison could kill it. It's RNG whether or not it will actually heal itself with synthesis or like use like splash or something. So yeah, let's just go for the catch. And yeah, let's go with the classic nickname. Babu. Babu Gahab. There we go. I'm gonna try to get a whole team to level 8 before we go into the gym. So I will be right back. Okay, we're back because Babu should be learning a move here, Tackle. Normally you don't learn that until level 10, so you're just kind of a synthesis machine until level 10. Here you get Tackle at level 8, so you can do things a little bit earlier. You might actually get things done in the Sprout Tower if you decide to catch this before going in. And if not, you get another move at level 10. And another attack at level 10, I believe. Also, while I was gone, we got a pickup item here. We got a potion. Anyways, I will see you when the rest of the team is the right level. Okay, and we are back. We are all at level 8. We're going to be leading Tyranza here. Because Tyranza, as well as Babu, I expect to be kind of annoying to level grind. I want everyone to be about level 10 going into this. I think with 6 Pokemon, level 10 is fair for the first gym, which caps at level 13. And these will be kind of a pain to level grind at that point. Poison Sting's weak, and, like, Tackle isn't strong, and, like, Hoppip isn't particularly strong, but the plus attack nature is helpful. Like, even without Stab, like, Babu significantly outdamages Tyranza while also having access to healing. And while we were gone, guess who learned an actually useful move other than Hypnosis, other than Bubble? You now have Stab, and you can now put things to sleep. Good job. Anyways, let's get into the gym trainers. Oh wait, before I forget, because I often do forget to do this whenever I'm playing this game casually. Let's get the, I believe, Rock Smash TM? HM? Whatever it is. Yeah, we won't be able to forget that until the 8th gym. But it's fine, because it's a bit more manageable in this game. Because, instead of having a 50% chance to drop the opponent's defense, it has a 100% chance. So unlike on a more supportive Pokemon that doesn't do much damage anyways, that's actually pretty good. There's a few Pokemon I can think of that can get value out of that. Like Shuckle, which you ironically get from Rock Smash, is one that comes to mind immediately. I think just because this line doesn't get a whole lot of moves, like Donphan can kind of get some use out of it. Although eventually, like, 40 power just isn't worth it since it has such a high attack stat anyways. So yeah. Let's get started on these gym trainers. The gym trainers aren't really any different, but the IVs will make a difference. Faulkner is a bit more interesting. I feel pretty confident about our ability to handle Faulkner. It's just a bit of a problem since we did lose to Youngster Joey. We should live one peck. Okay, probably not after a Leer, but hopefully we get the poison here. If so, I'm probably going Phanpy, because Phanpy doesn't have Takedown yet. So they're kind of weak right now. Takedown is what they want, because that does more damage. A lot more damage than Tackle, and the recoil eventually makes Flail a lot stronger. We're probably going to take a lot of damage from Fury Attack here. Never mind, it's going for Growl, so this is going to do nothing. Either way, Tackle ain't doing much anyways. Can you please hit me? I know it sounds crazy, but I would like to be hit. Okay. Again, Tackle is going to do nothing here anyways, because this thing has max IVs, we don't. Tackle's weak. Doesn't take much damage for Flail to be more worth it anyways. Like, it's definitely stronger than Tackle at this point. Like, Flail gets up to 200 power, that's a lot. That's why Takedown Phanpy is actually kind of scary early on. I didn't make any trainers use that, I should have. If I ever make a remake of my ROM hack, I actually know the exact trainer I would do that with. Now that I think about it, I should have had more trainers use Phanpy. Like, there's a decent mod variety among the trainers. But, like, that's just because the base game, the trainers use some decent Pokemon. Especially early on, where you see a bunch of weird shit. I don't remember getting leered that much, but I also was only half paying attention. Ugh. Yeah, no, you can just finish this off. I need to pay more attention to these battles. I was too busy talking and not really thinking about it. I should have noticed I got leered a bunch of times. I thought I was just getting hit by Growl. Yeah, Spearow goes down there. As we beat Birdkeeper Abe and get a pretty hefty penny. Sorry for the speed up, but the recording as of this current point is over 2 hours. I'm interested to see how long it gets cut to. Because a lot of that was just waiting around trying to get Mischievous or dealing with background noise. Case in point, I might have to cut here anyways. We will see. I hear a little bit of noise, it's not that much. It could, if it becomes a problem, we'll cut. But yeah, the things I would do for a functioning door. Can I get the poison here? Yeah. If we're being optimal, I think we just go no here. Like, Gaia will get the, what they want eventually in terms of levels. Like, it won't be that difficult. They're still Phanpy. Phanpy's still decently strong. They can bully the wild Pokemon well. Plus, we don't really take anything from Gust, and we can't be hit by Quick Attack. Mischievous is such a peak Pokemon design that they just never used. Like, Mismagius is alright, but I feel like it's just worse visually than Mischievous. And Game Freak agrees with me, apparently, because they didn't make Paradox Mismagius, they just did Mischievous, but it has broken stats this time. I don't think this is normally a Hoot normally. I think it's just a second Spearow. Or like a second Pidgey. Either way, this is different. I forget if it has Hypnosis by this point. But I guess we'll find out. So we can do 4 to 12 damage with this gun. Last one was probably about 6. That's probably about 7, maybe 6 again. And we have defeated Birdkeeper Rod. So, I am going to go do a little bit of level grinding, just to get a team to level 10, you know? Mainly because I want to just, like, show off some of the, like, moves some of these get. Like, by that point, I think Phanpy should have Takedown, Abu should have a new attack, we should have Beedrill. I think Faulkner's gonna get absolutely cooked, but I will see y'all when I get to level 10. Okay, I just want to stop and point out that we have encountered the Vulpix. So yeah, there is indeed a Vulpix at this point. Normally you cannot catch this until after you beat Bugsy, and that's assuming you walk right past Goldenrod Druga National Park onto Route 36, one in between National Park and Violet City. And this should have Ember here, so I'm actually gonna switch out. I would like to catch it if I can. I'm not going to use it, but I would like to catch a lot of these Pokemon. Let's see how this goes. I don't have battle animations on because I was trying to level grind. I don't know what that weird like flash of black is when I'm speeding up. That seems to be an issue with Melon DS. I know Melon DS is like a creator of Melon DS doesn't dislike Pokemon like Desume. But Melon DS is overall a less developed emulator. Like, Desume has been around for like 20 years. So with the exception of Pokemon, a lot of its like technical issues have been fixed. Melon DS seems to be the overall better emulator for Pokemon, but it still has its quirks. Yeah, we caught the Vulpix. I think we're gonna name this Susie after the trainer who gave Brock a Vulpix in the anime. I don't know why I know that. I haven't really seen much of the anime. I just know that for some reason. So yeah, Susie is now in the PC. Back to the level grinding. Okay, we are back because I believe it is time to learn a new move on Babu. One that will make a pretty big difference. Dust. Normally this line gets very little in terms of flying stab, which I'm kind of okay with. Just because of the fact that, you know, it's not really an offensive Pokemon line. I think it should focus way more on its support moves. Like, spoilers, I'm pretty sure for flying stab, we're gonna be using Gust on this thing for a really long time. But I don't care, just having Gust at all is a huge difference. I remember in, like, playtesting, like, a combination of Gust plus its support move pool was actually coming in very handy against the Elite Four, even though it was literally just Dust. Any form of, like, consistent damage that isn't Tackle, you know, is decent on this thing. Whoops. Just the fact that you can act, especially since it has noticeably higher offensive stats now. Open, what do we have here? A Repel. Okay, back to the level grind. Open, we have found a Diglett. Let's see if we can catch this. We certainly can't run away. There we go. We have caught ourselves a Diglett. I guess while we're here level grinding, we're gonna go ahead and catch Teddiursa. This thing is decently bulky and bubbles pretty bad, so this is gonna take us a while. A crit bubble kills here. Okay, so Teddiursa has used one sleep turn. Yeah, I mainly want to catch a lot of new Pokemon. Like a Pokemon that are new to certain locations. So yeah, we caught Teddiursa. I don't have a nickname for this. I'm just gonna name it Toph because I feel like Toph would like this Pokemon. And I'll figure out a better nickname later. Back to the grind. Oh, we learned Astonish. We actually have a ghost move now. That's gonna be very useful for some of the fights coming up. So yeah, we're almost there. Be back in a moment. Okay, and Gaia is finally learning Takedown. I'm glad that's level 10 and not 11. I would like a normal type move that doesn't do recoil and doesn't have a base power that goes from 10 to 200. And all that's left in terms of grinding is getting this repel off of Gaia. And, oh, also I got a full heal from the pickup while we were off screen. And also, just evolving Taranza, because Taranza is 3 experience away. Any victory will achieve it. You could delay a level up, because at level 13, Kakuta and Metapod learned Bug Bite. I didn't change that, that's just how the game normally works. I might have made it a bit earlier, because I think it might have been level 15 initially, I don't remember. Something about level 15 sounds familiar. But at the very least, you could delay a level up here. I'm not going to be doing that. Because I think I would like Beedrill to have a bit of a chance to shine. By the time we get Bug Bite, I'll probably be getting ready to replace Beedrill with a different bug type. So I'd rather just have the Beedrill now. 3 HP, not bad, not bad. Glad we got some bulk out of being a Kakuna. And yeah, we now have a Beedrill. Heading into a flying type gym. Oh yeah, and we have an attack other than Poison Sting. I forget if I buffed the accuracy of Fury Attack, or if I just kept it as a really bad multi-attacking move. Yeah, no, that's still pretty bad. At least we have some pretty good stats now. Like, that's our second fastest Pokemon, and that's our hardest hitter. I am gonna probably lead with this. Accidentally click speed up button there. I might need to move that. Ugh. If anyone sees this, I am curious what y'all got for Christmas. Christmas is a pretty big deal in my household, and after how this year has been, we were really looking forward to Christmas, and it went pretty good. I got myself a Switch 2, I got my brother a few different games. I got my mother like a nice little jewelry box. She's yet to open it because she doesn't have much place to put it in her room, but she wants to make space for it. Right now, it's just sitting on my floor. Got my dog a new leash. And I got y'all this Let's Play. If y'all heard that noise, that was my dog walking by. Their collar kind of made a sound as they were like shaking for a moment. Scratching an itch or something, I don't know. But yeah, I think we're going to lead Taranza here. Because Taranza probably has a pretty bad matchup against the latter 2 Pokemon. I think it'd be most useful against the first Pokemon on the team. Just to like raw, like hit it, you know? Open up with something that has some power to it, you know? Yeah, Faulkner's going to show us the real power of bird Pokemon. And this time, he actually has Gen 2 Pokemon. If this hits, this will be better than Fury Attack. Oh, I forgot to turn on attack animations. That's underwhelming. That is exactly what I wanted out of that. I don't think he has any healing items, so if we just get good hits here. Yeah, there we go. That went flawlessly. Then he sends out a not to, you know, the Ruins of Alf, they're pretty close to here, so that makes sense. This thing shouldn't outspeed... what's your attack stat? Not that much lower than your, physical attack, actually. I'm just gonna focus on getting some damage off. Maybe I'll just kill this. That should do a lot, though. Yeah, especially because I have the buffed, it has the buff special attack. That outsped me, which is concerning, but this thing has the higher base speed, so it should still outspeed. Let's just click Astonish. Yep. That doesn't do as much as I want, but Confusion shouldn't do much either. Oh, and went for Galeer. I don't think a Peck is going to do much to me. This thing should have Peck. And quite a hefty bit of experience here. Now, and even though he does have more Gen 2 Pokemon, he still keeps Pidgeotto as his ace. Because his under-leveled Pidgeotto is just iconic. In the original Gen 2 games on Game Boy Color, it was level 9, and that was funny. We're gonna click Psywave here. I don't think this thing has a full moveset. I think it has like Sand Attack, Roost, Gust. But the fact that it's not attacking me thinks it might not actually have Gust. It might have Quick Attack, so I'm actually going to start Growling here to lower its attack a bit and switch out to something else. If I get a singular Growl, I'm switching. Let's see if we can hit a Psywave. Oh, it does have Gust. Okay, so it is scary for me to try and switch out. I'm just gonna take a hit. This is a tough situation. I might have needed to level grind up more. I'm gonna start flailing. This should start doing more damage. Like, we live the next one, and it's gonna be like a 200 power move. $200 base power and a crit, and it didn't kill. Just in case it roosts here, I'm gonna keep attacking, but it should just go straight for the kill here. And then you have priority, right? Yes, you do. So I'm just gonna go straight for the quick attack. I know every physical attack you've clicked has been absolutely worthless so far, Tambora, but I believe you can do 1 damage. Good job, buddy. Golf claps, golf claps. And with that, Faulkner is defeated. Yes, you will, as we get a lot of money. And with that, I think this is a good spot to end this video. Again, this is a bit longer than it will be in later parts. I just wanted to both get the progress of my previous attempted recording and a little bit extra. Also, now that we got the beginning of the game taken out of the way, we should start to notice more differences. I think next time we will march down south and take out Union Cave, or check out Union Cave, I mean. I don't know why I said that like I was gonna assassinate it. Yeah, we actually have some interesting things next time as we continue our playthrough of Pokemon WoofGold and Master Silver. And again, check out Seal99 Plays and their friend Strange as they play through this game. See you next time.